Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to TTTV. This is TTL F1 season number 13 and round number 4, which takes us to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. My name is Kieran McGinley, just me tonight, and we head to a street circuit that has quite the history around in TTL. If you remember last season, it became the scene of Blizzard crashing out whilst Andy and I were talking about him. I remember that one very, very well. Recon straight in there. Hello, Recon. How are you tonight? Very eager for the stream to start, I can see. That was weird on the screen up there. It said no viewers, but one comment. So you were very quick to that one, Recon. Always good to have the fan base wanting more. But yeah, Azerbaijan Grand Prix coming up. It's one of those ones that's quite good for league racing, it has to be said. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. There's no short of drama when we get to Azerbaijan, as we saw last season. And with the obligatory street circuit, it's normally on my time to say, oh, you expect Steph to do the 9-stop. But unfortunately, he's taken a backseat role for this season. And, well, hope to see him back in a car sooner or later. Well, let me have a look at last time out. No, never mind. But I will give you the updates for the tables right now. So Squeezy actually leads the championship on 68 points. Jay and Lyronix are tied on 43 points. They're both in second, with Spike in fourth, and it's Ollie in fifth on 28 points. Lambo is in sixth on 23 points. Sean in seventh on 20 points. Poe and Lighty tied for 8th place on 10 points. White there is in 10th on 8 points. Then it's Maze tied also with him on 8 points. Graham in 12th on 3 points, and Damien and Alan Kay sharing 13th place with 1 point. Having a look at the constructors standings, well, Mercedes have already got a 60-point lead. They lead 103 points, and then McLaren and Toro Rosso tied behind Mercedes on 43 points. Ferrari in 4th with 33. Red Bull in 5th on 28 points. Then we have Haas in 6th on 21. Williams and Force India tied for 7th on 10 points each. Renault in 9th on 9 points. And Sauber are in 10th on 3 points. And, well, there's been a lot of discussion recently about real-life Formula 1. Obviously, they've brought in the fastest lap point. It'd be interesting to see whether that's implemented into Season 14. It's a while away, and there might be some discussion about fastest lap point at some point in the future. We'll have to wait and see what the decision is for next season. Of course, we're already underway, so introducing a point system like that can't be done. So I wonder what next season is going to be like. But anyway, Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Let's talk a bit more about it. Obviously making its debut on the track on the calendar in 2016, 6.003 kilometres. We're going to be doing 26 laps around here, covering a race distance of around about 156 kilometres. Lap record 143.441 set by Sebastian Vettel. And, well, first branded as the European Grand Prix, even though it was in Asia. Figure out that one, if you will. But then aptly renamed to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in the next season, and it has stayed ever since. And, well, if we all remember what it was like for Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel to collide under the safety car, how at least one of them didn't get black flag is beyond me. But it's a street circuit. It's got a massive straight. It's quite odd in that regard. It's narrow, but it does have that very long straight as an overtaking opportunity. 2 DRS zones. One down that massive straight there that, well, is a straight and when you get past turn 20 with the speed trap just before it, and then the second DRS zone just after turn 2 on the run up towards turn 3. That is turn number 7, I believe. And that one there is turn number 1. And of course the infamous castle section of turns 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12 will be there to catch quite a few drivers out, I think, tonight. But we'll be waiting in anticipation for that one. Aaron in the chat saying hello there. Hello, Aaron. Good to see you in the chat. I think, well, Recon said, I thought the fastest lap would be for all teams, but it's only for the top 10. Find that disappointing. Well, can you imagine the barrage and melee as we head towards the closing laps of a race, and you have, well, I don't know, say the Williams, the Alfa Romeos, you have the Toro Rossos all diving into the pits to try and desperately get that one single point. It'd be a nightmare. I'm kind of glad it's only the top 10, because then only the top 10 are rewarded. You have to be fast in the race to get the fastest lap, surely. You can't just get it over one lap. But anyway, here we are then in the pit lane for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And, well, I'm looking forward to this one. Azerbaijan always delivers, that's for sure. I missed out last time at China, so I'm pumped. I'm ready to come back here for Azerbaijan. I wonder who's going to be first out onto track there. It's the waiting game. Who is going to be first out? I hear an engine firing up. 30 seconds already gone in the session. Who is going to be first to emerge from the garages then? Looks like it's going to be a Mercedes. That's either going to be Squeezy or it's Spike. In fact, no, it's not. It's a Sauber leaving the pit lane. So who will that be then? I believe that's going to be... it's going to be Graham making his way out onto track. So Graham, the first person out onto track. And what tyres has he gone for? He's gone for the Ultra Softs there. It's 3 tyres available today. Are the Ultra Softs, the Super Softs and the soft tyres. Now you can qualify on the Ultra Soft tyres, no problem. And they can last quite a way into the race. Not too far, mind. But you will see the top 10 trying to qualify on the Ultra Soft tyres. As he makes his way now through turn 5, then through turn 6. And it is a track that really rewards bravery but punishes you when you just step just a touch out of line going through turn 7. And then here we come then towards the infamous castle section. You can see there Graham backing out of that one on the outlap. Really doesn't want to be attacking that one more than he has to, as he now makes his way towards the barrage of left-handers that comes up now. There's no right-hander until turn 19 now, as he makes his way now down towards this curbing here. Very easy to get that all wrong as we head now down the hill. And weirdly enough, it's this exit here that you've got to get absolutely spot on, as we now head through the high-speed sections now. Through the left-hander, then through the right-hander. You've heard Graham there having to lift off. And this is where the ballast of the car really takes into effect here, as we ride on board with Graham then for a lap in the Alfa Romeo Sauber as he makes his way down the colossal straight. Heading down towards turn 1, you've got to spot your braking zone on the right hand side just before the 100-metre boards. Graham decides as he makes his way through turn 1. You can take a little bit of curbing now on the right hand side, no problem, as he makes his way now in towards turn 2. Lots of 90-degree corners here as the DRS is wide open. Watch the traction on the exit of turn 2 as we now find our way towards turn 3. It's a straight that sort of bends to the left. Gives you that illusion that you're going straight, but actually you have to keep the wheel turning as we head through turn 3. Now coming towards turn 4. Easy to get this one wrong with the curbing on the inside. Prioritise the exit as you make your way now towards turn 5. Tricky section here. Use that track on the right hand side to maximise your turn in. Watch the curbing on the inside of turn 6 there, as we now have the short run up on the left hand side, the opposite side of the track, running towards the start finish line as we head through turn 7 and now towards the infamous castle section. Put a foot wrong here and that's the end of your race, climbing up the hill with the sun in your eyes as we head towards turn 10 through 11 and then through turn 12. Watch the curbing on the right hand side, very easy to get on there and let the car slip out of control as we now head through turns 30, then 14, 15, coming up at the braking point here, downhill on the entry. And it's downhill through the corner. Watch that curving on the left-hand side as we make our way down the hill towards turn 16 now. And again, this is the one you have to prioritise. The exit of this corner is crucial as we now fly away through 17. Then coming up towards 18 and 19 here. Does Graham lift out of this one? No, he doesn't. Full throttle all the way now as we make our way through turn 20 here. We've got the DRS zone coming up, and all you can do now is keep the steering wheel straight and hope you can get a good lap time as Graham now heads up towards the start-finish line. What is the banker lap he's going to set here? It's a 1:39.8 from the Alfa Romeo Sauber driver, and it puts him provisional pole position for now, as Squeezy instantly betters that with a 1:36.4. Great lap time from Squeezy then, and he puts himself in provisional pole position for now in the orange lid there. Tight, twisty, lots of straights. It's going to be a cause for drama. Recon saying, who do I reckon is going to win this race? To be honest with you, it's going to be hard not to put your money on this man here, Squeezy. He's proven to be pretty quick throughout this season, and well, he's constantly improving as a driver throughout these seasons. it would be really, really hard to see anybody else win this race. Although there is the opportunity for Poe to make his mark here. He's qualified on a super soft tyre, 137.6, and he wants to get his season going. And this could be a chance to really do that. But he needs to be on the mark. Of course, Jay in the McLaren is also one to watch as well. He made the last minute decision to race here about 10 minutes ago. Originally he wasn't supposed to be here tonight, but he made that late call to jump into the car and get out here. He's going to be Squeezy's main rival heading towards the back end of this race. It all depends on the strategy though. And you can never rule this man Spike. Spike, who seems to have recovered a little bit of form recently. And on the charge here to maybe get a few race wins this season. P4 on a set of soft tyres, 139.4. Qualifying this season hasn't been the greatest for him this season, but we're still only 4 rounds in. We've got 21 rounds in a season, so you can go through that run of form where things aren't quite working out for you. But you've got to keep pushing, keep doing your best in that form, and eventually that sort of form where everything goes right for you is just around the corner. So a lot to fight for here tonight. As Ollie has left the session. That is looks like it's going to be internet problems for him. Jay here then making his way through turn 16 and on towards a flying lap here. I think he must have made a mistake because he was on a flying lap, now he's backing out of it, and that looks like he's going to make his way towards the pit lane, coming up on the left hand side here. And I'm just a fan of this action so much that I've only just sent out the tweet about the race, about 7 minutes into qualifying, but there we go as we look at the pit lane here. 13 cars out there today. We've got most of them into the pits. Let's have a look at Zenki here, who is on a set of soft tyres as he now makes his way towards that start finish line. Does he? He opens the DRS, but that looks like him coming in, and it is Zenki coming in then, so just a bit of a sighter lap as he makes his way back towards the pit lane. 11 minutes to go then. Squeezy is on provisional pole position, and then it is Poe in second, Ollie third, with Spike in fourth, Oronic's fifth, Graham in sixth, and Alan Kay there selling a 1:49.4. That is not a representative lap time. He sits in P7, and those drivers in the pit, Zenki, Mays, Lighty, Jay, Sean and Siege, all yet to venture out onto the track. Have a see who is on a flying lap. Well, it looks like Graham coming back into the pits then. Spike has gone back out there on another set of soft tyres actually. As Spike has now left the session. Well, this doesn't bode too well. Not too well at all. We've had Ollie leave, now we've had Spike leave. Let's hope that doesn't continue through the race here, but you can see there Squeezy threading the eye of the needle through the castle section and then through turn 12. And now making his way now through 14 down towards turn 15. That Dutch angle there making it seem really cool as we head now down towards turn 15. That curbing on the left hand side there on the inside of the corner really can catch you out if you're not careful and if you're not paying attention as well. But here we go then, on board with Squeezy as he makes his way through these series of flying corners. You can see now the ERS has turned all the way up on the ultra soft tyres then, coming very close to the wall. I've met that wall a couple of times in my league racing career, and trust me, it is not a pretty sight. Here comes Squeezy then with the DRS wide open as he makes his way towards the start finish line. This is a flying lap on the ultra soft tyres, braking hard then, using the curb on the right hand side. And you can see him trying to use these curbs as he now makes his way towards turn 2. Getting that traction right is going to be crucial. But here we go then, coming up towards turn 3. Yeah, very nice entry through there. Now towards turn 4. Again, it's just a series of corners here that you just have to get absolutely right. Spike has joined back into the session, which is good news. But I haven't seen Ollie come back into the session just yet, so let's hold up that breath and see if he can come back. And now here we go then, down towards turn 7, and then coming towards the infamous castle section. Let's see what Squeezy can do. Very close to the walls there, but you have to be with that sun in your eyes as well. Can compromise your entry into turn 11. Not this time for Squeezy. as he now makes his way through turn 12, now coming to these left-handers through 13, now through 14, and down towards the braking zone of turn 15. Again, that curve on the inside there. There you go, see, just unsettles the car slightly as we make our way now towards 16. And obviously you've got to get the traction right. If you get 16 wrong, it compromises your entire start-finish straight, because it's pretty much flat out through here as we now make our way through turn 20. Now Alan K's left the session. This isn't good at all. Hopefully the server and the internet can keep a hold of everybody. But as Squeezy makes his way towards the line, it is a 136.3 there, and puts himself on provisional pole position. I'm really hoping that the lobby can hold all these drivers, and we shall see how that progresses throughout the session. But Squeezy on provisional pole position with just under 7.5 minutes to go. There's Poe there now, coming towards turn 20 and now towards the start finish line. And what can he do then? In the Ferrari need a good start. They're tied on points, and yep, that's a late call for Poe then to come back into the pits. Maybe a bit later than maybe the stewards would like. You're going to obviously pit in before that line. But here comes Laronix then, on a set of super soft tyres, making his way now towards the start finish line. Siege there pops himself up to P2 then. 137.4. Here comes Laronix towards the line, 137.9. And it puts him into P5 for the Toro Rosso driver. Jay out there now. Let's see if he's on a flying lap as he makes his way through turn 20. He's not on a flying lap, but he is. He will be when he comes towards the start-finish line. And let's have a look now. Let's see. He is a championship contender, remember, as he makes his way now towards turn 1. Clips the inside wall, and that is the difference between success and failure for Jay. And now he'll have to come back to the pits. Lap aborted for him. And it's not exactly the shortest lap here. And that is his teammate Zenki there, who is currently in P6, pulls to one side and lets his teammate through. Zenki currently 138.2, currently sitting in 6th place. He's done his qualifying on a set of soft tyres. But Siege there, up to P2. So he's done a good job so far. And we'll have to wait and see if he can carry this form. So he can carry this form through. And Ollie has had to leave the session for personal reasons, so he is 4th place, but will be taking no further part in today's session. That is sad to see, but he will not be taking any further part in tonight's session. Here comes Jay then, making his way now down towards turn 15. And you see that he misses the curb on the inside. He misses the curb on the inside. That would let him have a bit more control of the car. But now here he comes through this flying section, and again he has to back out. Remember, he hit the wall at turn 1. So it was a huge blow for Jay, but it's not over yet. Still 4 minutes on the clock. And so he will be hoping for a little bit of a better run next time around. Graham is out there once again. This is the 3rd time he's out on track today, more than any other driver so far. So he's really committed, really wanting to improve this lap time. Currently sitting in 8th place right now, 139.7. And he now makes his way through turn 13 now. And that's good then. Alan Kay has joined back into the session. And hopefully we'll see less of these internet problems as the session goes on. Here comes Graham then. Coming out of turn 16 now through 17, 18, 19 and 20. They come at you thick and fast. Here comes the Alfa Romeo Sauber driver through turn 20. And now with the DRS wide open, what can he do with this one? This will be the start of his flying lap. And the last lap time he did, he shaved 9/100ths of a second off. Well, it's interesting to note then that Squeezy obviously ahead of Jay and Laronix. And Laronix here will be hoping for a good result as well to try and keep up that momentum. Good race last time out for Laronix. Has put him up towards second place now. But Siege here, currently he is... where is Siege in the championship? I'm just trying to see actually. He is a non-point scorer so far this season, if I'm correct. And he is, so he'll be hoping that the nature of Azerbaijan gives him a chance to score some good points. And that's what drivers who maybe aren't normally in the points have to look at it as. There's Lighty then, making his way through turn 20 for his first lap. He's going for a set of super soft tyres. Mays retires from the session without setting a lap time. Lighty now making his way towards the start-finish line. Braking hard now for turn 1, the first 90-degree left-hander. As he makes his way now towards turn 2. I believe that was Alan Kay coming out the pits. Was that Alan Kay coming out? It was indeed Alan Kay. Makes his way towards turn 2. So he's only going to have 2 runs, Alan, because of the internet connections. Here comes Graham then. Coming towards turn 20. And now here he comes towards the start-finish line then. DRS opening very, very soon. You can see that ERS deployment is almost gone. And can he improve on his lap time? He does improve by 1/10 of a second there, but it's not enough to move himself up the standings. So 8th place for him at the moment. Spike then. Is this an outlap, I wonder? Yes, it is an outlap. As he makes his way towards the start-finish line. So he starts his flying lap now. 1 minute 26 to go. Locks up going into the first turn there on those super softs. And now coming towards turn 2, he'll already be thinking in the back of his mind that this is not going to be a good lap, but he just has to keep going with it now. Keep the punches rolling. Here comes Poe then towards the start-finish line. And this looks like it's going to be a flying lap for himself as well. Here he goes to start it. And now braking hard for turn 1. And look at that there, the control he had through the first corner. Jay is on a flying lap right now as he heads now towards turn 4. Lighty retires from the session. So he feels that he's not going to improve. He's not going to be able to set a competitive lap time. Here is Jay now through turn 6. As you can see there with those super soft tyres, there's a little bit of understeer going on in that McLaren as he makes his way now towards turn 7. And you have to watch the entry there. Siege retires from the session. Currently in second place. Jay now making his way up the hill through turn 11 now. Then through turn 12. As he now makes his way towards turn 13. The slight left-hander. Just here, and then through 14, the other slight left-hander. Now down the hill towards the heavy braking zone of left-hander with a massive curb on the inside. Call it what you want. I think turn 15 is a more catchy name. Through turn 16 now, clipping the curb on the exit, and now making their way through turn 17. Now towards 18 and 19. Checker flag has fallen, and Graham there, oh sorry, Sean. Up to 8th place then on some super soft tyres, 139.5. Here comes Jay towards the start-finish line. This lap is important. He hasn't set a lap so far. He'll want to set a good time here. Here he comes towards the start-finish line. And it's a 137.363. And that is nearly a second behind Squeezy. But remember, Squeezy is on a set of ultra soft tyres. Jay set that time on a set of super softs. So I wonder here, Alan Kay is making his way now through. Here's Squeezy now in the Mercedes. He's on some ultra soft tyres. I wonder if he's just going to go out there and see if he can set a 135. He's not far away. It looks like he's leaning towards the left-hand side of the track. No, he stays out. Here he comes then towards the line. Poe moves up to second place, 136.4. And Squeezy does get into the 135s. A 135.9 from Squeezy. And Zenki there taps the wall on the exit. Alan Kay now on some ultra soft tyres. Can he be able to get up to the top 10? Towards the start finish line he goes then, keeping that steering wheel as straight as possible. And it's P9 for Alan Kay. 138.5. Here comes Zenki towards the start finish line. What can he do as he heads towards the DRS zone now and towards that start finish line? Can he get any higher than 8th place? Yes he can. P3 for Zenki. 137.3 on some super soft tyres. Graham now coming towards the line for his second lap on those ultra soft tyres. Does he move up? No, he doesn't. So pole position for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix goes to Squeezy. So then, let's have a look at the results of qualifying then. And they'll be with us any second now. And there they are. So Squeezy is on pole position. Poe is in second, 4/10 of a second separating the top two. Zenki in third there. Fantastic qualifying for him with Jay in fourth. Siege then in fifth with Spike in sixth. Ollie in seventh, who won't be taking part in the race. Laronix is in eighth place. Alan K ninth. Sean is in 10th. Graham just missing out on the top 10 by just over 1/10 of a second. Maze and Lighty did not set lap times during that qualifying session. So it looks like 4 out of the top 10 will be starting on a set of ultra soft tyres. Everybody else, it looks like, starting on a set of super soft tyres. Of course, there could be some outside of the top 10 that might think to themselves, let's start on the soft tyre, let's see what happens. I wonder what the strategy is going to be like then. Because the soft tyres, sure, they'll last a long time. But at a street circuit that's relatively green when you turn up, it might not have the best grip in the world. However, there's a reason I'm up in the commentary box and not out on track. But this could be it's always an exciting Grand Prix. If there's a safety car as well, that could really change up the balance. If there's rain as well, you never know. That could switch things up as well. As we await now for the start of the formation lap, we can sort of see what strategies everybody's planning on doing. Taking a little bit of time right now as people perfect their strategies, and here we go then on the formation lap. So away we go then. Squeezy leads Poe then as he gets a huge amount of wheel spin there, heading now down towards turn 1. And obviously on those ultra soft tyres, he's obviously feeling this is the way to go. And we'll have to wait and see if that pays off. But the car behind, Poe, also starting on a set of ultra soft tyres. In that Ferrari, he's looking to try and hunt down the championship leader. As Zenki there behind, starting on a set of super soft tyres. And it'll be interesting to see what the McLarens do here, as Jay using all of the track there to keep some temperature into those tyres. And of course, super softs will require a little bit more tyre warming, so it's really going to have to be weaving left and right as quickly as you possibly can, as Spike will have to do as well. Ollie on super softs, that is Alan K on a set of ultra soft tyres. Shawbear also on super soft tyres. Graham will be starting on a fresh set of super soft tyres, as will Maze, and Lighty has gone for the route of a fresh set of soft tyres. So, championship leader, and he'll be leading them down towards turn 1. It's a very short run down towards turn 1 of the very first lap, as we now make our way through the castle section. I remember very, very vividly the events of season number 12, riding with the race leader, talking about the race leader, as he then crashed out of the race in the castle section. Will we see drama like that happen? I wonder. But as Squeezy now makes his way towards turn 15, obviously he's doing the little bit of wheel spins and burnouts to put some heat into the rear tyres. And as we make our way now down towards turn 16, it's a single file lap with a Mercedes in front and a Ferrari behind, and that's never a good sign. But they've been taken straight to the grid then, so the two McLarens will be the first two to complete the formation lap in full, as long as nobody else gets disqualified from the lap. And there you go, you can see the AI is starting to take over now as they make their way towards that start-finish line. Well, TTL F1 is brought to you by WeakWiFiSolutions.com. They are also sponsoring the Driver of the Day Awards, and it's also brought to you by A Logo, who designed the graphics and logos for TTL F1. They are also sponsoring the Fastest Lap Award. And what's important though is the Fastest Lap Award doesn't score you any points, at least not yet. But as we make our way now towards the grid, will there be carbon fibre all over the place? There's only really one way to find out. Azerbaijan Grand Prix for TTL F1 is moments away. As we await now, the tension is in the air. Squeezy will want to get a good start ahead of Poe. And you can see they're riding on board for now before we switch to the other cameras. Here we go then for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. It's 5 red lights. Round 4 is underway, and what are the starts like? Looks like Squeezy's got a good start there, but the McLaren behind of Zenki's got a fantastic start too. Here they come towards turn 1. Can they keep it clean then through turn 1? And it looks like they have done as we head now down towards turn 2. Then Zenki's putting a lot of pressure on the cars ahead. We head through now towards turn 2, and that looks like a little bit of a scuffle behind Graham there, trying to keep hold of position then as we head now towards the short straight then. We're on board with Sean then as Spike has held his position there in 6th place. Sean right behind him as we head towards turn 3 for the first time, and that is Lighty up the inside of Graham, and Lighty gets his way up towards 9th place. Remember, he started at the back of the grid on those soft tyres, so it's a good start from Lighty so far. So Squeezy then making his way now towards turn 6, and now heading towards turn 7. The Mercedes leads the way then. Not really any overtaking opportunities, but this could be the first dramatic part of the track and of the circuit as we make our way up the hill towards the castle section. Will it catch anybody out, I wonder? As we head through now, riding aboard with Graham as he's trying to chase down Lighty, but Lighty on those soft tyres looks incredible at the moment. May's then running in 12th place right now. Not really looking or interested in battling right now. We've got Alan Kay chasing Graham now as we head towards turn 17, or turn 16 that is. Through turn 15, I should say. I'm lost already. It's only that one. This bodes well for the race. Now we're heading towards turn 16, and Alan Kay here looking to pile some pressure on Graham as we head through the series of corners before the start finish line. Squeezy leads then as he starts the second lap of this race with Poe in second, Zenki third with Jay in fourth, as we see Siege and Jay fighting over position. Jay moves himself back up to 4th place, and Siege now drops down to 5th place. That is Spike in 6th, Sean in 7th, Laronix in 8th, Lighty in 9th, as Lighty becomes very close there, as Graham just taps the back of Alan Kay. Then Graham running in 11th place, and Mays running in 12th. Ollie not starting this race due to personal issues. He's had to pull out of this one. But Squeezy then leading the way, and well, pretty tight together actually, Poe and Squeezy. Jay didn't quite get the start he wanted, but remember, he's on the super soft tyres, and he's got a sort of strategy to keep. He won't want to be battling too hard, and actually with his teammate ahead of him, I'm not sure actually what McLaren will decide to do. I suppose this early in the season they're not going to employ team orders, surely not. But there is Lyronix here trying to chase down Sean. Ahead of them, Spike is trying to chase down Siege as we make our way through turn 8 for the second time running up the hill. So easy to get it wrong. Lapse of concentration. That could be a lapse of concentration from Siege as Spike now runs side by side, but Spike backs out of it. Very cautious there from the Mercedes driver as we now make our way now down towards turn 15. And again, a little bit of a mistake from the Red Bull driver out of turn 15, now heading down towards 16. And you can see there Spike is all over Siege now. He wants this position. He won't have DRS, of course, until after turn 1. But might not need it actually. Look at this in the slipstream. Goes to the right hand side. A little bit of a tap there. But no damage caused to either driver as Spike then runs side by side and takes position away from Siege then. So Spike is up to 5th place. Meanwhile, Laronix has made a move on Sean, but Sean's not done with this yet. He goes up the inside into turn 1. Runs a little bit deep then. The Toro Rosso can try the cutback as we head up towards turn 2 now. And he's got the inside line, Laronix, and he gets the position. But meanwhile, Sean will have the DRS. He was behind in the braking zone before turn 2. So Sean now moves to the left-hand side with the DRS side by side as we head towards turn 3. And you can see Sean has the inside line, but Laronix is not giving up on that battle. Sticks it around the outside and takes the position away from Sean. So he's now down a position there. Meanwhile, the McLarens have traded places, and I'm wondering if that's a little bit of team orders there. Jay makes his move and gets ahead of Zenki, and you can see there Zenki not interested in fighting back right now. So Jay is released, and he can try and chase down the top 2 then as we head on to lap number 3. McLaren's running in formation right now as they head through the castle section. Meanwhile, Mays behind Graham right now as we head towards the castle section. And Graham taps the wall and loses that bit of front wing and has Well, I wonder if the front wing damage is going to cost Graham a lot here, as he looks to try and... I don't know if he was trying to let Mays through there by pulling to one side, but Mays isn't trying it. As we head towards turn 15, you can see there Graham struggling with the car. As you now head towards turn 16, he's got to remember that the car won't turn in as easily. And yes, you can see he pulls off to one side, lets Mays through. That's what he was trying to do. But when you're going through 13, 14, it's always very awkward here to keep control of the car. But he will make his way back towards the pit lane then. Lap 4 of this Grand Prix then. And Squeezy leads from Poe, as we see Sean and Lighty battling for position now. Sean has fallen into the clutches of the Force India. The Force India then looking up the inside as we head towards turn 2. Tried to sort of have a little bit of a gap there, but couldn't quite make it happen. He will have the DRS then down the short back straight. There's a lot of straights at this track, but this is what I would call the back straight. Down towards turn 3 there, and you can see Lighty just putting some pressure on the Haas then. Heading towards turn 4. This 90-degree corner is all about the exit here. Got to get that absolutely spot on. Through turn 5, then through turn 6. Still that Force India is trying to put some pressure on the Haas. Heading towards turn 7. And Siege then has been passed by Laronix as he comes very close to the wall there. Very close indeed. And it looks like Siege just made a little bit of a mistake then. And Laronix was just able to get the position then. Well, here we go then. Squeezy still having to try and pull away from Poe. Hasn't quite done it yet. And Poe will be right behind him. Turn 20 is the detection point. There's the white line there. Squeezy's just gone over. So the Ferrari will have the DRS as we head down towards turn 1 for the 4th time. And here we go then. Lap 5 of this Grand Prix. Squeezy still leads from Poe. And Poe with the DRS just can't seem to quite close the gap on Squeezy right now. As we'll have a look at Siege. Siege is coming into the pits then. Remember, he did start on some ultra soft tyres. Here comes Lighty, then moves to the right hand side of the track. And tries a little bit of a cutback maybe out of turn 1. Couldn't quite get the power down the way he wanted. And you can see there, wanted to make a move through turn 2, but backed out of any possible move. He is up to 8th place with Siege in the pits. And if Siege puts on a set of super soft tyres, then that's surely going to be a 2-stop. Surely he can't make it to the end on those set of tyres. But again, there's a reason why I'm up in the commentary box. Lighty still on the tail of Sean as we head towards turn 5. Then it's through turn 6. Watching that curb on the inside can really unsettle the car. As we now make our way towards turn 7. The Force India on the soft tyres. Sean, I believe, is on super softs, and he is. Just trying to keep the car out of the walls at the moment. You can see Lighty has the superior grip. Oh, little bit of tap then from Lighty. Don't think he was expecting Sean to go so slowly through there either. Sean is struggling for grip out there. It can't be tyre temperatures. But whatever it is, Sean is just not comfortable with the car right now. As we head down towards turn 15, you can see Lighty a lot braver through the corners. Can carry a lot more speed as well. Heading down the hill towards turn 16. Let's just hope Lighty doesn't have any damage. As my voice just gave way a little bit then. Now Lighty right in the slipstream of Sean. You've got to be careful of the dirty air. Oh, Lighty came close to the wall on the left-hand side. But here we go then. Sean having to try and defend without any DRS. There goes Lighty. Side by side they run. As they head down towards turn 1, you can see that DRS isn't doing a lot as they head down towards turn 1. And Sean's just able to try and keep a nose ahead. But Lighty gets the move done and moves up to 7th place. Sean then had a really good straight line speed, but you could see the ERS he had to use to try and keep that gap. There is Spike then, meanwhile, up the inside of Zenki. Coming into turn 3, he's got that move done, and Spike moves up to 4th place. And that was a move that Spike knew he needed to make. And now he can try and chase down the other McLaren. Sean, meanwhile, still behind the Force India. As we make our way now towards turn 5. You can see there the trail braking used by Sean there. We come now towards turn 7. You can see there Haas just trying to fill that Force India mirror with a little bit of a Haas. Our way now up through the castle section. Sean still trying to apply that pressure as Lighty there runs a little bit wide on the exit of turn 12, and he's able to keep the momentum, so a very lucky boy there as he makes his way now down towards turn 15 again. Sean keeping him company, and you can see there the way Lighty attacks those curbs. It's buying him a couple of meters out on the track, and that is why he's still ahead. Lighty running wide though through turn 16. Now they go through 17 and 18. Let's just quickly jump on board with Lironix because he's right behind Zenki. Then that's Poe into the pits then. Remember, on the ultra soft tyre, and that looks like the McLaren of Zenki. It is Zenki coming into the pits, so Lironix will still have the DRS as we head down towards turn 1. Now let's have a look at Sean. Now he's side by side with the Force India of Lighty as we head down towards turn 1. Force India taps the wall on the inside and was very lucky then not to collect the Haas as he made his way out. There is Poe then, who was just rejoined in front of Alan Kay. So Poe puts on a set of soft tyres and he'll be hoping that they get him to the end of the race. Alan Kay then right behind Poe as we head towards turn 3. Lighty then and Sean. This battle could be going on for quite a while then as they make their way through turn 4. Now they're coming towards turn 5. Then it's through turn 6. And again, those high curbs are a deterrent. But if you can take advantage of them, it's there to be taken. Sean still putting in a shift here to stay ahead of the Force India. And for the Force India, this battling won't help his tyres whatsoever, because he'll be wanting to have that strategy where he can go as long as he can into the race, but that's not going to work out at this rate. Poe then is also closing on these two. Oh, he taps the wall! Taps the wall on the exit of 15. And I wonder if there's any damage to that Ferrari. I think from the looks of it, Poe's got away with a minimal damage. A very lucky boy indeed. Squeezy comes into the pits. Sean runs very close to the wall. This is Lighty's opportunity. Moves to the left hand side of the track. Crosses the detection point second. That's all he needed. And you can see now he'll open the DRS. But will he actually get to pull away? That's the thing, because Sean, as you've already seen, in a straight line, can keep up. And look at this. He's coming back at Lighty. Coming towards the break zone of turn 1. And there goes Poe up the inside. And has he got the move done as we head towards turn 2? Not quite yet. He's got the inside line once again, and he gets the move done. Then has the DRS, loses the back end though, but is able to keep the momentum going. Sean though will have a go back around the outside as we head towards turn 3 now. And Poe has to get the braking zone absolutely spot on, which he does, and then moves up a position now, up from 7th place. And you can see there Squeezy staying out on those tyres. He's able to rejoin ahead of Lighty. So that was a good call from Squeezy to stay out a lap later, because it's rejoined them ahead of this battle. And surely Poe's not going to try and move up the inside of turn 7. Oh my goodness, he is! Up the inside, and he taps the Force India into the wall! Well, I don't know what Poe was thinking there. Very narrow entry. He's tapped on the Force India. No doubt Lighty is going to be furious with that one. And Sean, though, could try and take advantage of this. Lighty will have maybe a head full of steam right now, but he's got to keep his focus. He had that tap from the Ferrari. Keeping that focus now, that's all that matters. He will have no damage. Maybe a little bit more tyre wear on the rear tyres than he might like, but that's the only damage that's going to be done there. Meanwhile, Laronix here, closing in on Spike. I think Spike is planning to come into the pits, and indeed he is. So Laronix stays out then. Jay leads this one then on those super soft tyres. Lironix then is in 2nd place, but both of them have to stop yet. There goes Spike, he's released. There goes Squeezy. He takes that position away from his teammate. Poe comes through in 4th. Lighty 5th now, with Sean in 6th. Where is Spike? He's now just coming towards the pit lane exit. And, well, he may have rejoined behind that battle, but he's got some clean air. That clean air might be enough to just keep him putting in those lap times, while Sean and Lighty wear out their tyres and just sort of get slower with their lap times. Their pit window will be coming up, of course. Lap 9, and Jay in the lead as we head towards the castle section. Again, attacking that with no fear whatsoever. Laronix now making his way through turn 8. Squeezy on some soft tyres. They will have warmed up for sure by now. And he makes his way through turn 8. A little bit more cautious than other drivers. Poe likes to throw the car in there. You can see he's rewarded with that by a couple of tenths. Lighty in 5th place. Sean is just falling back slightly. Lighty's able to build a gap to the car behind. Meanwhile, Zenki, who has stopped, is now trying to chase down Maze as we head through 14 now, on the way down towards turn 15. A little bit of a lock up then on the front left tyre. Jay comes into the pits from the race lead. You can see then, I should say, Zenki now making his way through 17. And then through turn 18, through 19. And then we're coming up towards turn 20. Zenki in the slipstream. Looks towards the inside then with the DRS. Has he got DRS? He will have DRS on Maze then. And I don't think Maze is going to put up too much of a battle. And no, he doesn't. Zenki makes his way through. Lighty getting a 3-second time penalty. And Jay now is right on the tail of Poe as we make our way towards turn 3. So Zenki gets the move done then. He's up to 8th place. Maze now down to 9th. But of course Maze has yet to stop in this race. Sean as well as Lighty all have to stop still in this race. Laronix leading the way again has to stop. But he's getting to the point now where the super soft tyres will be getting pretty worn right now. And the soft tyre, probably a new set of softs, will be much, much quicker. Lap 10 here at Baku. Laronix leads from Squeezy and Poe. That's your top 3 so far, with Laronix still yet to pit in this one. Spike, meanwhile, is right on the tail of Sean. And through turn 12, he's looking to try and get a good exit as we head towards 13 and 14 before the braking zone of turn 15. And Spike here will know that turn 15 is not a braking zone, not an overtaking zone, I should say. Now heading down towards turn 16, and Sean there moves to one side and, well, he lets Spike through. No battling whatsoever. And Spike moves up to P6 then. Laronix into the pits from the race lead. And we'll have to see where he rejoins then. So Squeezy will then take back the race lead. He did have, as he makes his way now down towards turn 1. Poe will retake 2nd. Jay now goes up to 3rd place. So Laronix leaves the box. Lighty will move up to 4th, will he? As we head towards turn 1. Actually, it's going to be close between them. But Lighty then just gets ahead of Laronix then as we head towards turn 2, but only just. And Laronix here is actually going to have some DRS as we head towards turn 3 now. But you can see Lighty has already pulled away. That is incredible pace from the Force India then. But as we head down towards turn 3, Laronix then saving his ERS for a rainy day as Siege gets past Maze now. Up to 8th place he goes. And this could be an interesting battle between these 3. There goes Lighty, there goes Laronix, and there goes Spike. Lighty obviously yet to stop in this race. Laronix will be wanting to get away past. Currently tied for points with Jay. At the end of the day, it looks like they're both going to be on different points totals. Lap 11 of this Grand Prix. Still no retirements as of yet, which is always good to see. But as Lighty just gets through this train as they now head down towards turn 15, you can see there Lighty's fuel indicator coming up yellow. So that means he, at stages, he's under-fueled. So his onboard computer is telling him you're not going to make it to the end of the race. But here we go then, as we head through turn 18, then through 19. And then we'll make our way towards turn 20. Dirty Air will be affecting Spike the worst. On board with Laronix then, as he'll have the DRS. You can see he's already trying to pull away now. As we now head down towards turn 1, you can see now, the Force India pits in anyway. But that's an opportunity now for Spike. Heading down towards turn 1, he can put some pressure on Laronix, and that's exactly what he wants to do. Doesn't quite get the exit of turn 1 the way he wants it. He got the entry right, but the exit wasn't good. And he's paid for that now, with the gap increasing over Laronix. He'll have the DRS as we head towards turn 3. Can Spike make a move? He'll look for it, but backs out of it in the end. So Laronix takes a good hold of P4 right now. Meanwhile, Alan has just about kept ahead of Lighty. But Lighty is going to have to make some super soft tyres last 15 laps. Not the easiest thing in the world to do, considering we haven't seen it yet, but with a lower fuel load, it could be done. Spike now making his way towards turn 8, right behind Laronix. And the castle section hasn't claimed any victims so far this season. Heading now through 14 and then down towards turn 15. Laronix under pressure from Spike as they make their way now down the hill towards turn 15, or turn 16 actually. And you can see there Spike trying to prioritise that exit. He's in the slipstream now as he makes his way now through 18, then through 19. Right in that slipstream, almost. The car wanted to step out on Spike there as we head through turn 20, over the DRS detection point. Now there's the activation point. Laronix on his right-hand side. As look at that, the DRS then aids him beautifully down the straight. And Graham's out. Graham is out of the Grand Prix, just under the halfway mark. And I wonder where that is. Might we see it with Squeezy on board with him there? No yellow flags just yet. The yellow flags were in sector 2. So there is the possibility that it was the castle section. But we can't be too sure. Lighty then with the DRS getting away past Alan Kay. And now he moves up to 9th place. And meanwhile it's all happening off screen at the moment. Laronix still battling away with Spike then, as Laronix gets back P4 from Spike. You can see there Spike looking for that way pass as we head up towards turn 7. Yellow flags in sector 2 as Poe's out of the race. Poe from 2nd place is out of this race. Now where on earth has Poe gone off? He's gone off up the hill. Oh my goodness! He's clipped the wall at turn 10 and then he's gone straight on. Poe from 2nd place in this race becomes the 2nd retirement. And we're now down to 10 runners. And Poe will be absolutely furious with himself. A really good chance to score some points. But the castle section has finally claimed one of the tyres of these cars at just under the halfway mark. Spike then still in the slipstream, still in that DRS range. He changes up quite a bit. But we'll have the DRS, and look at this slipstream now as we head towards turn 1. DRS wide open. You can see how fast he's closing then. Will he move to the left hand side? He will indeed. Leaves it as late as possible. And you can see Spike gets the move, but he runs a little wide and taps the wall. On the exit, damage to the front wing on the right hand side. Left is braking too late now, and now he's got to try and hang on for dear life as Laronix now will be smelling blood. Here he goes then, now down towards turn 3. You can see now, will he try and move up the inside? No, he thought about it, but again Spike locking up. He'll be under serious pressure from the Toro Rosso. Meanwhile Lighty and Sean battling out for position now through turn 1. And Lighty trying to hold the outside line through towards turn 2. And Sean there trying to find a route up the inside. Not going to happen though, as we now head down the short straight towards turn 3. Again, Spike here is going to struggle. May not necessarily struggle through the middle sectors, but towards the high speed section through 17, 18, 19 and 20, that is when he's going to struggle. Laronix then will know that. He'll try and time his move to perfection. At the moment Spike looks okay, but we'll have to wait and see how much he has to back out of the throttle. Of course he's on those soft tyres as well. Down the hill towards turn 16 now, and this is where we'll find out how good that car actually is. On board with Laronix then. You can see now him starting to close in. Will Spike have to back out of the throttle? No, he doesn't actually. But look at Laronix, look how much he's able to close in now. Goes up a gear very late. Try and give him as much momentum as possible. With the DRS then, as we now head down the start-finish straight. Laronix ahead of Spike now, and Spike with less front wing. A little bit off on the right-hand side. And it's costing him now. You can see that damage there. It is a slight bit of damage, slight bit of bodywork damage. But that is all it takes to unsettle one of these cars nowadays. And Spike is not going to be happy with himself there. a chance to battle away for the podium, but misjudged his braking into turn 1. And that bit of front wing damage is all it takes then for Laronix to pounce and get back ahead. So then, lap 15 of this Grand Prix. Squeezy leads from Jay there in 2nd place. Then it's Laronix in 3rd, Spike in 4th. Zenki is in 5th place with Siege in 6th. Lighty in 7th place. Sean is in 8th. Alan K running in 9th place. And Maze running in 10th place right now. Retirements for this race. Poe, who retired in the castle section. Graham retired from the race. Unknown where he retired on track. It was somewhere in Sector 2. And Ollie did not start this race. Now Squeezy then making his way through turn 20 and on towards the start-finish line to start lap 16 of this Grand Prix. 11 laps to go here at the Baku City Street Circuit. Zenki, meanwhile, has a chance here to try and close in on Spike. Spike has a wounded car. He's got to try and make it last 11 more laps. And those are going to be the longest 11 laps of his life. As Zenki here with the DRS starts to close in on the Mercedes, and quickly too, as we make our way now down towards turn 1. Zenki in the McLaren will be hoping to take advantage of this. Heading through turn 2 now with the DRS open. In the slipstream, will he have a go towards turn 3? It seems unlikely, but stranger things have happened. But no, Zenki doesn't go for the move then. And I wonder how much of a loss McLaren considered it to be at the time to lose Squeezy to Mercedes. But some fantastic signings in J and Z. So it's like losing Squeezy. They lost Squeezy, but the next day they got Jay and Zenki. A good pairing so far in this season, with Jay currently now 2nd place in the championship. He is joint 2nd, but if it stays like this, he will be 2nd place in the championship. But Squeezy's lead over him will increase, of course, by 7 points. At the moment, it's 40 points. It may become 47 points as we head towards round 5, the Spanish Grand Prix. Oh, Zenki clips the wall on the right-hand side there. And that's what it's like, just to lose that concentration slightly. Easy to do around this track. As we now head towards turn 16. Now we head through 17, through 18, through 19, and then through 20. And you can see now Spike having to lift off. Zenki now goes around the left-hand side, round the outside of turn 20, as we now make our way down towards turn 1. And you can see there the McLaren of Zenki still trying to pull away, and he has done now. Moves across to take the racing line down towards turn 1. And Zenki there moves ahead up to P4. And Spike now falling down. And Siege is into the pits then. So as I suspected, that was a 2-stop strategy. Now we'll have some fast tyres for the end of the race. Now what tyres go on for the Red Bull? It is another set of super soft tyres. And there goes Lighty ahead. Also on a set of super soft tyres. Where does Sean rejoin? He rejoins just ahead of Siege then. As he now makes his way out of the pit lane and down towards turn 2. Spike then still trying not to let Zenki get too far up the road. And it is a valiant effort with 10 laps to go. But with that front wing damage, it's only going to get worse, the grip levels for him. He's just got to be careful that he doesn't understeer into another part of the circuit. That is when it really could be game over. Lap 17 then. There you can see that was the McLaren of, I believe that was Jay there going through the opposite side. But on the front wing of Siege then, as he still looks to try and close in. Siege then keeping his head down. He's on fresh super soft tyres. He can push him to the end of the race. Right ahead of him is Sean for 7th place. And you can see there's Sean on some soft tyres. As we head now down towards 16. On board with the Red Bull. And now right in the slipstream of the Haas driver. As we now make our way through 18. Then through 19. And then through turn 20. Here we go then. Towards the left-hand side, Siege gets us the DRS open, and you can see already how far away he's pulling ahead. Siege then moves up a position, and Spike actually pits in from, assuming was a new front wing. Onga was set of super soft tyres, and now he rejoins in 6th place. Now he's just behind Lighty, and actually that might not be the worst call in the world. He was losing time to Lighty. Now he's only 2.3 seconds back on quicker tyres, it would seem. 6 lap younger super soft tyres. But at the end of the day, that could be the call that he needed to make then, in order to stop losing time to the car behind. One battle to watch is the battle between Laronix and Zenki. And Jay here will be hoping that Zenki can catch up to Laronix there and pass him. Tied for points in the championship right now are Jay and Laronix. Zenki makes his way through 16. Won't have the DRS, of course, but he does have the pace at the moment. Siege then still trying to close in on Spike. But for Spike, he's closing in on Lighty. 1.7 is the gap between the two of them. Oh, you can see there, Spike attacking turn 15 there. No remorse for the curb as we head down towards turn 16. And Siege is still trying to stay on the back of Spike here as we head towards the DRS zone. And look at that, the Red Bull will actually have the DRS then as we head towards it, the start-finish line. So this could be an advantage for Siege to have. DRS is open, you can see him close that gap to the Mercedes as he actually does set the fastest lap of the race. 1:39.6 from Siege. That is currently the A logo fastest lap of the race. Spike then still closing in on the Force India ahead of him. Lighty will be hoping that Spike comes up on the narrowest parts of the track and he's able to get away on the straights. Hasn't been working so far. So obviously with the faster tyres, he's able to close in. Heading towards that turn. You can see how close he is on the back of that Force India. Force India goes defensive, going towards turn 7. There's really no need to do that. It compromises your exit as you head towards turn 8 and get you out of shape for the entry as well. Lighty there defending in towards turn 7, which is something he really doesn't have to do. But maybe he thought he was vulnerable there, and you can see that. You can see how vulnerable he thinks he is to Spike as we head now through 14, on the way now down towards turn 15. You can see there Spike just braking early, a little bit of lift and coast to add to the ERS battery. Heading now down towards turn 16 now. Spike now heading through 17. And then it's through 18 as Alan Kay. Is that Alan Kay in trouble? And it is Alan Kay in trouble. And looks like a little bit of front wing damage there. Meanwhile, back on board with this battle between Lighty and Spike as they're now heading down the main straight. Spike able to get ahead, and look how much quicker he is. 346 kph, I should say. Heading down towards turn 1. Significant speed difference there. And Lighty did his best to try and put Spike off, but it didn't work. Spike now up to P5, which is where he was before he pitted in for those set of new super soft tyres and to pit in for a front wing change. 7 laps to go. Squeezy leads then as he now heads down towards turn 15. He's been in control of this one so far, but Lighty actually has got ahead. Spike has made another mistake. He's hit the wall again. Another part of front wing gone. Well, Siege here might be trying to get past Lighty then as we make our way now down towards turn 7. And, well, I wonder if Spike will be talking to us after the race as Alan Kay's come into the pits then. Disastrous for Spike. And you can see there the Force India of Lighty running wide through turn 12. That's going to open up an opportunity through 13, maybe through 14. Siege will be right in his tail, heading down towards turn 15 here. You can see them both attack the curbs with different fortunes. Heading down towards turn 16. You can see their Siege prioritising the exit of turn 16. see now Siege will have the DRS on the Force India. Maybe he doesn't even need it as Lighty tries to move to the left-hand side. It's too little, too late. There's not a lot Lighty can do about that one. And Siege gets the position then as Spike comes back into the pits once again. And Siege then moves up a position now to P5. Will Spike put on a set of ultra soft tyres, or will it be super softs for the Mercedes? It looks like it's going to be ultra soft tyres, and it is. So if anything else, he might be able to get the O logo fastest lap of the race award. But that certainly was an intention towards the end of the day. 6 laps to go. 5 and a bit if you're picky. Because here comes Squeezy just exiting 16, now going through 17, then through 18 and 19. And the Mercedes driver hasn't been in full control of this one. But when the pit window ended, he has been in control. But you can see there he's got to do a little bit of fuel saving towards the end of this race. Squeezy then, starting lap number 22. 5 laps to go here at Baku. Jay is in second place. Lyronix is in third, with Zenki trying to keep him company in fourth place. Then it is Siege, who's 24 seconds behind Zenki there in fifth place. Lighty is in sixth. Sean there in seventh, with Mate in eighth. Spike did rejoin in ninth place. Alan Kay, having visited the pits, is in 10th place. Poe, obviously we lost in the castle section, and Graham, unknown where we lost him, somewhere in sector 2. And Ollie did not start this race. There is Jay then. Heading through now towards turn 6. Interestingly then, the McLarens might get a good points haul here after all. And, well, they do need that good points haul. They are tied with Toro Rosso on 43 points. And for Zenki, at the moment, this could be his first point scoring position of the season. And that is something he so desperately needs. Here comes Spike then towards the start finish line. And overtaking Mays then. He's now up to 8th place. It's been a miserable day for Spike, but all credit to him. He's still going. He's still out there as he heads towards turn 2. This should be a contender for fastest lap of the race. And to take that A logo trophy. Squeezy now making his way through turn 20. And now towards the start finish line to start lap 23. 4 laps to go here in Azerbaijan. And for Squeezy, it could be a win to add to his successful season already. Well, Squeezy here has been winning the races this season. 2 wins out of 3 so far. This could be 3 out of 4. Of course, winning the Chinese Grand Prix last time out. And it could be a chance here to extend that lead over Jay by 7 more points. Jay in P2 though. Lyronix then in 3rd place. This will be a good point scoring position, but he's going to lose 10 points on Squeezy, and even more importantly 3 points on Jay. They'll no longer be joint second as it stands. But this is good points for both of their constructors as well. It's all about where the second car is. For Lyronix, the second car didn't start this race. For Jay then, the second car is Zenki, who's looking to try and score his first points of the season. And there it is then, A logo fastest lap, looking like it's going to go towards Spike then. 130, is that a 138.9? Couldn't quite see it against the background. Squeezy then rounding turn 16 once again. It's not an easy track to keep calm at, Baku. It's always going to test your patience. It's always going to test your concentration. You cannot let up for the slightest second. As we have yellow flags in sector 2, and Siege is out of the race. Has the castle section claimed another car? Yes, it has. Siege is out of this race then, with only 3 laps to go. And that will be devastating for the Red Bull driver. Still yet to score a point this season. He won't be scoring any today. And for Spike then, a little bit of a redeeming quality. He will then jump up to 7th place. At the very least, he can take that away with him. But It's not going to be a lot. And Zenki then picks up a 3-second time penalty, but with Lighty 28 seconds behind him, I doubt that's going to change too much to the results. And Squeezy now heading towards 5 and 6, still leading this one. As we now see a Mercedes heading towards turn 7. Up now towards turn 8. You can see there just attacking the castle section, which is something I'd certainly love to do. When you get the castle section right, it's fantastic. I remember having criticisms about this track. Why here? Why have a track that has a gap just wide enough for a Formula 1 car? But now it's clear. It's a clear test of driver skill and dexterity to even fit the car through the gap. It takes a lot of skill, a lot of bravery, and it's easily taken away from you, the race, if you decide to be a little bit too brave. Squeezy then will be crossing the line. There is Alan Kay we're watching, as he moves up to 9th place right now. As there's Squeezy just coming up behind him, just creeping up now. 2 laps to go in this one, and Jay has actually been closing on that last lap. 2.8 the gap is. And I wonder if Squeezy is just doing a little bit of fuel saving, a little bit of ERS saving as well. And you can see that Jay's not too far behind at the moment. Seeing if there's battles around the field. The field is pretty spread out as we head towards the closing stages of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And Squeezy here has been showing us how it's done. As you can see there, Alan Kay getting just out of the way there and letting those cars through. You can see letting the top 2 go through, and well, that means he can push for another lap. It means if he sees negative -1, that's a positive, isn't it? Double negative is a positive. Ah, never mind. But Jay's actually closing, and closing quite quickly on Squeezy as well. 2.2 the gap is. I'll tell you what, this race isn't over. Coming down the hill now towards turn 16. 2.3 is the gap. Squeezy looking to try and get every apex right, as he now makes his way through 18, then through 19, and now coming towards turn 20. As you see there, Jay still closing. 2.1 the gap is. Could be a last lap move. It's going to take a lot for Jay. He's got to close 2 seconds in a lap. But Squeezy then starts the final lap of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, as he makes his way now towards turn 2. Well, he's kept it clean the entire race. He pitted a lap later than Jay and managed to come ahead of him, and ahead of that battle with the Force India of Lighty, if you remember that one. And that really was the difference. He put himself ahead of Jay. He put himself a car ahead as well, where Jay had to battle for a position. Squeezy didn't. He had that clear air, and it's helped him at the end of the day to get ahead. But here we go then, down towards turn 7 as we turn the car in, and for the final time they'll have to conquer the castle section, and he has done. And Jay then still 2.2 behind. We have yellow flags in sector 3, and not quite sure who that is, but Squeezy then making his way now through these fast left-handers down towards turn 15, and Mercedes are starting to look pretty with their driver choice right now, as Squeezy makes his way now down towards turn 16 for the final time. And it's this high-speed section for one last time too. Just keeping out of the walls for the final time, as Squeezy makes his way through 19 and then through turn 20. Jay's done all he possibly can. The gap's under 2 seconds, but it's not going to be enough. Squeezy here is going to come across the line to take his 3rd race win of the season here at Baku. And Jay will cross the line in 2nd place. A great win for Squeezy then. Extends his lead at the top of the table. Loronex then is going to come home. He's going to take 3rd place and keep the championship going as well It's a decent point haul for him. It's third place for Lowronix, and the Toro Rosso boys are so happy with that one. Zenki here is going to come home to take his first points of the season. Zenki for McLaren weaves his way across the line, and it's a great day for McLaren too. And scoring a good amount of constructors points, that will help them. Lighty then making his way through the high speed section, now coming through turn 20. And Lighty on the alternate strategy is going to come home in 5th place. And no ERS at all left, but he crosses the line in 5th place then. Sean, well, it's been a good day for him in the Haas, and he'll cross the line to take 6th place here. Spike, well, he wants this day to end now. He is in 7th place, and well, he'll want this race over and done with now, as he now makes his way towards the start-finish line to cap off what has been an unproductive day. He's actually running without a front wing as well, so he's met the wall at somewhere else. But your winner of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix for Mercedes, 3rd win of the season for Squeezy. Win number 3 for the Mercedes driver, and it was a pretty dominant day for him. He was able to keep in control and brave enough to tackle the castle section 26 times, and he's rewarded with this race win. So then, the castle section did claim some cars, but here are your official, unofficial results. Squeezy wins from Jay in P2. Then it's Lowronix rounding off the podium. Zenki in 4th. Lighty 5th with Sean in 6th. Spike rounding off a miserable day. He's there in 7th place. Maze in 8th. Alan K finishing a lap down in 9th place. Siege retiring, will not score any points. Poe and Graham also retiring outside of the top 10. And what that does to the championship, well, Squeezy now leads by 47 points from Jay, and he now leads by what I believe will be 53 points from Lowronix. So Squeezy has the upper hand, he has the upper momentum, and he'll want to make that count as we head to the next circuit, which is the Circuit de Catalunya for the Spanish Grand Prix. And a really balanced track. There's no real difference between running speed and cornering. You've got to find that perfect balance between the two to really conquer the Circuit de Catalunya. But that was it for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel down below. We're just one away from 200. Will you be the 200th subscriber? Go on, you know you want to. Make sure as well you do follow the league on Twitter. It is at TTL_F1. You can also follow on me on Twitter if you really want to. It's at KSMCG F1. We have Commentators Corner coming up in just a few short seconds. Obviously it will be a separate stream as always, so hopefully you do join us then. And yeah, hopefully we'll be speaking to a couple of drivers in Commentators Corner very, very shortly. Separate stream, stay on the channel, don't go anywhere.